morning, everyone. This is Walter Latham, and I wasn't planning on doing this video again today, but I was unable to find someone to do it this week. So instead of missing a week or repeating a week, I decided to do it myself, which is pretty much how I live my life. And you know, in life, there are two answers that you can get to any solution or problem, and that's yes or no. And both of those have power, and the power that they have is placed by you. So if someone tells you no and it devastates you to the point where you can't go on anymore, then that's the power that you placed in that answer. And the same thing with yes. I remember when I was small, younger, and I'm sure you guys probably remember this too. You used to write those notes in middle school and elementary school, and you write it to the girl or guy that you liked, and you pass it up to the front of the class where they were, and it always said something really simple and basic. Do you like me? Yes, no, or maybe. You always put the maybe in just to give yourself some room to some kind of hope that you might get to the yes. But then you get the same letter back, and it would say blatantly, without a doubt, no. And at that moment, in the 4th grade or the 5th grade, you feel like the end of the world has come, and this is it. There's no reason for me to live anymore. Everything is over. The person that I like doesn't like me, so what's the point? And we carry that. We carry that emotion, I think, throughout the rest of our lives. It's not necessarily just in relationships, but in our jobs, in our career, and any other aspects of our life where it all depends on a yes or a no. But if you think back, going back to those earlier days that I just described, one day you'll send that letter, and have sent that letter, or maybe even had that conversation with someone in high school or late in middle school, maybe even in college, and the answer was an absolute yes. Now, did that change your life because they said yes and the other person said no? It really shouldn't. Either answer, may have its own set of emotions that come along with it, but both answers cannot determine and dictate my happiness or my future or the way I choose to live my life. The yes is great. It feels great. Obviously, it means that whoever that person was, you'll be able to spend more time with them and get to know them, and that's great. But if they said no, you can't go out and just say, oh, this is the end of the world, it's over, because you got a lot more life to live. You got a lot more opportunities. You got a lot more yeses to get in different areas of your life. But I get a no 20 times more than I get a yes. I remember when I was trying to sell the Kings of Comedy movie, and I asked one of the cable networks would they want to buy it. The person told me that Kings of Comedy was just a Def Comedy Jam show. The only difference is the guys wore suits. And I was devastated. I was 26, 27 years old. And I'm like, if they said it, and they're, as big as they are, maybe they're right. And that happens a lot. That's the point. That's like, to me, that's the point right there, where you can say, okay, they were right. They have to be right because they know what they're doing. I'm wrong. I need to try something different. But I believe I'm right. And you keep going. And you keep trying. And it took me 2 years to even find a partner in Hollywood who would do that movie, and to find a studio who would release the movie, and obviously a great director who would direct the movie. But after all of those no's over 2 years, when I finally got a yes which was in October of 1999. We were rolling camera in February of 2000. So 20 months of no's turned into a yes that turned into a film in less than 4 months. If you put in the work and you believe in what you're doing, you believe in the project, you believe in your physical ability, your mental ability, you know, you can get the answer that you're looking for. And it may not be from the person you're looking for it from. It may be a different version of a yes, or a different version of what you thought it was going to be. But for me, it's always ended up being the right version. It's always ended up being the way it should be, and that's what I have to go on. And then I keep working, and I keep working, and everybody that I've ever introduced to Hollywood, from, you know, some of the kings to queens to Tyler Perry to everybody I've ever worked with, there was a time where I was the only one who believed in them. When I did the Queens of Comedy tour the first year, it lost money every single night for like 30 nights. But I watched the show every night, and when I watched the show, I liked the show. And I think that's the thing that saved the show from ever being canceled. Because I'm like, these young ladies are as funny, or funnier, some of them, than some of the guys on the Kings. And I got a call from the head of distribution over at the studio we were at, and the Kings DVD, VHS was coming out in February 2001. And he asked me, could you get a Queens special ready in a month so we can release it with the Kings in January? And I said, yes. Then I hung up the phone and said, how? But I said yes. And that's the other thing that I think separates winners, and I wouldn't even say winners because that's a negative thing. People who succeed at a higher level than people who succeed at an average level is, even when you don't see a way physically, you know that you can still pull it off. A lot of careers were able to develop and to go on to the next level. So some of their no's that they may have been getting up until that point turned into yeses. And that's something that we all created together. We all took chances on each other, and we all believed in that moment in each other and said, hey, let's go out and do something that's never been done before, and people will love it. Bernie said it one night to me in the back. He said, if you put the shows on sale, people will come. And I was nervous. I was really nervous because that show was so big and it was so expensive. And I was a young guy, and I had never done anything like that. But he was right. We all succeeded. We all had opportunities that we didn't have before. You can place a little bit of power in them, a lot of power in them. You can allow them to defeat your entire goal, your entire mission. Or you can find out, why did I get that no? And how do I turn the no into a yes? And I'm not stopping until the no is a yes. No matter what I have to do, no matter what kind of sacrifices I have to make, there is a creative way and an innovative way for me to turn this no into a yes. I don't think you have to be Walter Latham or anyone of any significance supposedly in the community or in entertainment to do that. I think you can do that in anything that you put your mind to.